Hey loves, Kim here and I'm back with another video. So if this is your first time on the channel, I just would like to say welcome. Hi, my name is Kim. I am a Sims 4 gamer and I wanted to talk about the different stuff packs and how I think best kind of suits the stuff that comes with it. I find that a lot of times people don't know exactly what to get to kind of suit their needs, and the stuff pack is pretty much like the cheapest that you can put into a pack, and you basically get stuff. With the later stuff packs, we have been getting a bit more gameplay, but in general stuff packs you get stuff. So let's talk about the stuff. So this is not in any particular order. This isn't necessarily my recommendations, but this is me kind of talking through what each pack brings as far as aesthetic, as far as function, and just really highlighting the stuff in the stuff pack to maybe give you guys ideas of things that you want to implement in your builds, whether it's building, decoration, gameplay, or otherwise. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so the first stuff pack that I want to talk about is actually the most recent one that was released, which is the Paranormal stuff pack. Now, I personally do not own this pack yet, but I will soon. Honestly, I just really hadn't gotten around to purchasing it, but just based on what I've seen and looking at the overview of the build mode items, I really like the aesthetic. The aesthetic is very kind of antique-y. If you ask me, I could definitely see this as a grandparents' house or like a auntie's house. I feel like this would be really good if you're trying to build like an antique shop, which is really good for storytelling, or if you just wanted to have a retail lot and fill it up with more kind of like antique, I would say not necessarily ornate, but not super structured pieces. I would say definitely Paranormal stuff is definitely the pack for you. I'm getting kind of like 70s early 80s vibes from a lot of these objects. The planters that come with this are absolutely gorgeous. There's this one planter where it's kind of like in this little circular jar. Really pretty planter. I'm not the biggest fan of the curtain that comes with it, but I think it's really good if you wanted to kind of create like a office for a paranormal medium or for a psychic or something dealing with the supernatural. Definitely think that this pack will serve well. There's a lot of oddities in this pack as well. There's like this little cow plant inside of a cage. There's also just like different chests and things, different hutches and things like that. I really love the kind of scallop looking sconce that comes in this pack. I don't know, I just feel like this is definitely a unique pack. It definitely feels antique-y, but still pretty fun. So yeah, that's what I would say this pack will be good for. I think also if you have like a hipster sim, I think I see like a macrame piece. I see a chair that has a little bit of wicker, or it might be caning on it. But yeah, definitely, like I said, this is very hipster, antique-y, grandma slash auntie's house, but I'm definitely here for it. And like I said, I do plan on getting this pack very soon. Alright, so the next pack I want to talk about is the Nifty Knitting stuff pack. I really like this pack for just the aesthetic. It's very soft. It's very plush. I feel like this is a good pack for all ages, particularly your younger Sims, i.e. kids and toddlers, and your elders. The main piece that came with this pack that was super hyped up was the rocking chairs, which comes with the reminiscing features for the elder Sims, which is kind of like them. It's almost like a daydream, but they're just thinking about different things, and like you'll have little pop-ups talking about, oh, I remember this, I remember that, and it puts them in a pretty good mood. I like this pack for several things. I mean, I definitely can see this as things you would pick up like in a crafter store, things that will be at a senior living center or an elderly home, definitely a grandparent's home. I also think this will be really, really good for a baby's nursery with the rocking chair, and just all of the soft plushy pieces will be really, really nice. I can also see this in kids rooms because they come with a lot of different plushies, a lot of different craftables that you can create, which is just really nice. I can also see this in like a florist shop because this pack comes with a lot of beautiful floral pieces, specifically hanging floral pieces. Really, really cool stuff. This is definitely kind of niche, but like I said, I feel like this is good for the whole entire family. I like all of the different desk options that we have. They have kind of like this desk slash, I guess it's like a surface. You can't necessarily sit down at the other piece, but they're two separate pieces, but they made it to where they click together. So it's really cool. I mean, so you have like a workspace, you have all of these wall decor items like pegboards and embroidery, and just so many different little features. Also, you have the yarn, the bag of yarn, which is interactable, so you can create craftables, you can sell it on Plopsy, you can give it to people. So yeah, I mean, I definitely love the pieces that came with this pack. Now, as far as the furniture isn't exactly my favorite, but I do like the amount of variety that we have. The furniture is kind of, I don't know, it's more on like the softer side. I mean, the colors are pretty bright to pastel in that range, so it's definitely not bad. Like I said, it definitely feels like this is really good in spaces for elders, spaces for children, toddlers, babies, and like crafting. But yeah, that's just like the overall vibe and aesthetic that I get from this. I don't know, I just really, really love the crafting aspect. As someone who is a crafter herself, I don't know if you noticed in my background, but I have a heat press here. I have a whole wall of things that you all can't even see on camera. I just have a bunch of things for like crafting. I've always been very creative and like working with my hands, and I like the fact that your Sims are able to kind of take that and make it their own. I wish we had more of a variety in the color scheme. We do have some darker colors with a lot of the furniture pieces, like I said, like the desk and the wall decor and the shelving and things like that. We have plenty of that, but a lot of it does skew to like the bright and pastel. So I wish we just had some more basic colors, but I think what we have is really, really nice. Alrighty, so the next pack I want to talk about is the Tiny Living pack. I believe the big ticket item that came with here with this pack was the Murphy bed, which is really, really cool. Can be a little bit problematic, but I really, really like it. I like that the wardrobes are smaller than usual because the Sims 4 furniture can be pretty huge. So I do like that the scale is slightly smaller for the Tiny Living pack. I also like the doors that came with the pack. It's like the wooden door with like the glass panes in it. Really, really nice. I love it. Obviously the Murphy bed. I would say most importantly, as far as build mode features with the Tiny Living pack, was that we got additional lot types, or should I say sub lot types. So with the Tiny Living pack, underneath residential, there is another category that's tiny home residential, and then under that is 3 different tiers: micro, tiny house, and small house, if I'm not mistaken. And those directly correlate with how many tiles you have on the lot. So I think with a micro home it's like 24 tiles or something like that. I don't know, I could definitely be wrong. I'll put it on the screen somewhere, but I think it's like 24 or 32 tiles, something like that, for the micro home. And then for the tiny home it's like 64 tiles, and then a small home is 100 tiles or less. So I think that's really cool, and I think it's a great way to challenge yourself and to really kind of push the limits with how much you can put in the space and still make it functional. There's a lot of play testing, there's a lot of finessing to tiny homes, but I really like them. I know with the tiny homes you do get additional benefits, which I would kind of consider a build and buy mode feature. I guess it's kind of more so gameplay, but either way, your bills are typically lower, and I believe it's either with the micro home or the small home, you get the added bonus of learning skills faster. That's a bonus. I really love the paintings that came with this pack as well. They're really cutesy. There's flowers, there's these cute little cubism pieces with like the little lion and a fox, I believe. I really love those. And I like the multifunctional pieces that came with Tiny Living Pack. So whether it be the Murphy bed with the attachable bookcases, or if it's the TV bookshelf and radio combo, I just really like how they put those pieces together. I wish we had more of that. Like seriously, I wish we had more of that. But this is a really good pack, and if you are into using ladders, definitely consider using a ladder if you wanted a multi-tier tiny home, because honey, you're gonna need it. You're definitely gonna need it. But yeah, I mean, I just think that tiny homes are pretty self-explanatory. There's not any particular aesthetic that I would say this would be good for. I just think it's good for if you want to challenge, if you want to live small, if you want to reduce your bills, and if you just wanted, you know, just to have to deal and manage with less space. Definitely the Tiny Living Pack is chef's kiss. I love the aesthetic of this pack, not only with build mode but cast, but that's a whole nother video. So the next pack that I want to talk about is the Moschino stuff pack, and based on the trailer, based on the cast, I was not really here for it. I do like the hairs that came with cast, but we're not gonna get into that. We're talking about build mode items, and you know what? I was pleasantly pleased with these items. I love the aesthetic of it. I would definitely say Moschino stuff pack is awesome for industrial builds, conversion builds, factory builds. Just I love it. I definitely use the windows all the time for commercial builds. I love the grid on them. I like that we have some options where the window is slightly opened. Really love that. And I actually enjoy the build and buy mode items. Some of the swatches on like the couches are questionable to me, but that's just a personal taste. I like my furniture to be a bit on the plainer side, but you know, it kind of is what it is. I mean, I definitely like it. It's definitely more of an industrial slash modern aesthetic. Clean lines. I love the new camera that we get. I like the tripod that we get, all of the camera lights. Really good for Sims who are into photography, whether you wanted to do freelance photography. That's a new career that came with it. Well, career-ish, a freelance career. Super duper cool. You get like this little marker bit that is portable, so you can pop it in and out of your inventory and take pictures of models pretty much anywhere. The camera is really nice. I like the lighting that comes with it. I really love the paintings that came with it. They're very like abstract, bold lines, which in like paintings and posters I don't mind. It's just my furniture where I get kind of like iffy with that. And I like the rugs that came with this pack. Let me see, is there anything else that I'm missing that I really like? We get like some cool wall items. I like the clothing rack that comes with this pack as well. Really nice. I think that clothing rack will look really good in like a retail store, or if you have a sim that has like a big walk-in wardrobe, that will look really good. We also have that backdrop that came with it, which is nice. Yeah, it's nice. I mean, it does the job. It goes with the whole camera thing. The wallpaper. So the wallpaper is hit or miss for me. I would not use this wallpaper in a house, but at a retail lot or at a commercial lot, I really like it. I definitely like to use that lot, the walls at lots where It's more high energy, so I created a skating rink and a bowling alley, and both of them use the kind of like geometric type wall pattern from the Moschino pack, and I really like it. I really enjoy it. I feel like it has a pretty decent amount of variety. It's definitely bold, so like I said, it's not as user friendly if you're like really into like house builds, like unless you like really just over the top bold color. I would not use this wall texture on all 4 walls of my room. I would definitely reserve that as like a feature wall. But I mean, all in all, I think the vibes of it is, I don't know, like I said, high energy, industrial, modern. I can definitely see a lot of these items used in like a loft, like a downtown loft as well. Perfect for things in like San Moschino, even Del Sol Valley, if you wanted to make kind of like a studio apartment. I think definitely this will really work well with that aesthetic. Next on the stuff pack list is my first pet stuff. I do not own this pack. Frankly, I don't plan on owning this pack. There was a lot of controversy surrounding this pack because it's basically DLC for DLC, which kind of turned me off. But in all honesty, with the cats and dogs pack, I don't play with the pets all too often. I love those items. We'll talk about that in another video if you guys are interested, but I don't use the cat and dog specific stuff too often, so this just really didn't appeal to me. But just looking at it, I would say the items in this pack is really good if you wanted to build a pet store, if you wanted to make like a kindergarten classroom or like an elementary school classroom where they have like a class pet, or maybe like a daycare where they have a class pet. The items in here are really skewed towards like kids and toddlers and things like that, so I would say spaces for like your younger Sims. This pack could be the pack for you. They have a lot of animal themed items in here, like chairs and like toy chests and just different things like that. They have like some extra things for your pets, like different like cat trees, and they come with the like the tiny pets. So I think the options are like mouse, hamster, gerbil, and guinea pig, and I don't know. I know it's 4 of them. I probably did not get all 4 of them correct, but I know I got at least one of them right. But yeah, I mean, that's just kind of that vibes. Like I said, definitely more so for your younger Sims and for your pets. I think it'll be really good for those types of spaces. Not really my jam, but it's an option, so definitely check it out if that's what you're into. Next on the list is probably perhaps my favorite stuff pack right now, and that is Laundry Day. The big ticket item with the Laundry Day pack was obviously all of the different laundry, I guess, accoutrements. So we got a washing machine, we got a dryer, and we also got the more analog items, which are the wash tub and the clothes line. I really like the aesthetic of this for both build and buy mode and cast, but we're just going to talk about build and buy mode today. I love all of the different little clutter, from the baskets to the folded clothing to just all of the different little bits and bobs and decor pieces. I really like it. I feel like this is a really good pack if you love clutter. If you love clutter, definitely get this pack. I mean, as far as the clutter, I mean, we have irons, we have ironing boards, we have broom and dustpans, we have different little buckets that, you know, show that you're cleaning, whether it be laundry baskets or cleaning buckets. We have cute little plants. We have the little laundry jugs in 3 different colors. A lot of clutter pieces to really make your houses really feel like homes, and I feel like they work on all different scales, whether you have a mansion or whether you have a tiny home or just an average size home. I feel like this is just a really good pack, and it's definitely worth your while. So I would definitely say if you had to only buy one stuff pack, I would say laundry day for sure. The aesthetic is very, very relaxed. For both build mode and cast. There's a lot of wicker, there's a lot of kind of like wood. The colors are, they're not really bold colors. I don't want to necessarily say they're pastels, but they're not bold at all. I mean, there's a lot of like blues and greens and pinks and oranges. They're not a lot of harsh colors. Now, as far as the washer and dryer itself, we have an array of colors, all the way from the basics like the black, whites, and grays, to the bolds like the reds and the yellows, to the more neutral tones like the beiges and the browns. You definitely have your pick of the litter with this pack. And as far as like the actual furniture, I love all of the wicker chairs, the rugs. I feel like I can't hype up this pack enough. I like the other clutter pieces like the wreaths. It seems like the wreaths are seasonal as well because they have like different colors and things. Just like random items. I like the couches. Like I said, it's more of a wicker aesthetic, which I think looks really, really good inside and outside of the house. I just feel like stylistically, like I said, it's very relaxed, very easy breezy. I just really feel like this can go pretty much in any type of build. As far as the laundry baskets, we do have two different types. Well, technically three, but two of them are wicker and one of them is a more kind of like plastic aesthetic. So I mean, I just feel like it works. I definitely feel like it works. It also brings a good bit of gameplay to it, which is always nice. Interacting with the different machines for laundering your clothes. But yeah, like I said, if you only had to buy one pack, I recommend this one. Another thing I love the rugs. I really, really love the rugs. They're definitely more of kind of like a woven texture. They have different types of rugs. They have like the semicircle, the full circle, and like the more type of oval rug. Really, really nice. I feel like the rugs just really kind of complete the space. And yeah, I just really, really enjoy this pack. Next pack on the list is the Toddler Stuff pack. Now, toddlers were not in the initial launch in the game in 2014. I believe they were patched in around 2017. And this pack just gives your toddlers more stuff. The items are really, really cutesy. I don't play with toddlers too often. I mean, honestly, I don't play with families too often, but I think the items are really, really cute. I really, really like the cooler that came with this pack because it doubles as a chair, and the cooler is portable, which is really, really cool. The toddler pack came with some really, really cute rugs, and I believe these rugs were kind of like layered on top of each other. Something I didn't mention from the laundry day pack, they did have layered rugs as well, so I feel like it definitely got that idea from the toddlers pack. But I really, really like the toddlers pack. It's definitely bright and colorful. I would say the big ticket items that came with this pack were all of the toddler play equipment, from the slide to the big jungle gym to the very controversial ball pit. It came with all of those items, but I feel like it's really, really cutesy. I just like the fact that it gave toddlers more stuff, because I feel like when they were patched into the game, it was very, very bare bones, okay? So just to be able to have extra stuff for your toddlers is always nice. I think the fencing that came with it is really, really cute. They also came with a couple of cute little toy boxes and like these little wooden stomp things, which are pretty much decorative. I love the light rope that came with this pack. I use this light rope all of the time in my backyards, in just spaces to really add a little bit more light. I use them at restaurants, especially if it's more kind of like an outdoor theme. I really, really love those light ropes. I would say if there was one thing that I use from that pack most often, it would definitely be the light ropes. It also came with like this little awning thing, which is kind of big and cumbersome. I think that would be really, really cute if you wanted to make kind of like a toddler section of a park or a playground. It would be really, really nice. just to kind of give your Sims a bit of shade. And I also like these little balloons that came with this pack. They're kind of like anchored down by these pillows. I feel like those balloons are really, really cutesy. I use them all the time for celebrations for Sims of all ages. And I like the pillow. It's considered a living chair, but I use the little pillows all of the time. I use those pillows in a kind of an unconventional way. So when I'm trying to make like a fake sectional by squishing two couches together, I use the move objects on sheet to raise those pillows up. Sometimes I size it down, sometimes I leave it as is, but I like to hide my seams so you don't see the glitching of the couches smushed together. So yeah, I mean, I think there are a lot of hidden gems in this pack. Definitely geared towards your toddlers, obviously by the name of the pack. I think this will be really good for daycares, for toddlers rooms, if you want to have a toddlers party, for parks and things like that, a kids store for sure. Also, if you wanted to build kind of like an arcade, like a Chuck E. Cheese's or Stevie B's or wherever you're from, and having like that area for the kids to, like the little kids to play, I think that's just really, really cute. It's definitely really, really cute. And I recommend that pack for those items. Next pack on the list is the fitness stuff pack. Now, I'm torn on this pack because I had higher expectations for this pack. Don't get me wrong, the items that are in here are very nicely done, but it just seems like they're reskims of a lot of the fitness and exercise items that we already had. This pack, what does it come with? So it comes with a treadmill, which we already had. It comes with a bench pressing machine, which we already had. But it did come with a new rock climbing wall, which is interesting. It's a really, really big piece, so it's not as user friendly, but the concept is really, really cool. As far as just the overall aesthetic, I love it. It's very, very modern. It's very, very sleek. I can see this in like loft builds and conversion builds and factory builds and just like penthouses, like bachelor pads. Like, I feel like the items in here is very, very sleek. They use a good bit of metal and glass, and I just love that aesthetic. Like, it's so cool. It's so chic. It's so chic, and it has an overall masculine aesthetic for me. Now, when I say masculine, being a designer, I'm not saying that women cannot use it and women would not like it. I would just say that by masculine, I mean that the items are very, very hard, very, very edgy, very, very kind of like clean cut, whereas a feminine aesthetic is a bit more soft, a bit more curvy, a bit more plush. Like, that's what I mean by it's a masculine aesthetic. But me, obviously being a female, I love it as well. I love the aesthetic. I just feel like there was opportunity missed with this. It would have been nice if instead of reskims of items we already had, maybe if we got like some free weights or like an elliptical, or I don't know, a Stairmaster. Like, I wish we had more fitness stuff. Like, even if we had like a jump rope or something, like, I just wanted something different than what we already had in the game, because we have a bunch of different treadmills and bench pressing machines already. But focusing on the positive, the aesthetic is really, really nice. I mentioned the type of builds that I would recommend using it in. I really, really like the windows. They're definitely not something that you would use in a residence, in my opinion, but like for commercial lots, I love it. Especially like more high energy commercial lots. I believe I used the windows from the fitness pack in the arcade that I created recently. And I actually really, really like the paintings. If you go through the swatches, they just get better and better. And I really, really like this coffee table. It's like rock on the bottom and like a glass top. Really, really nice. The side tables are really, really nice. They're kind of clunky, but it's definitely that mixed medium of the glass and the wood. Just like with that coffee table, the rock and the glass. With a lot of the seating, it's like metal and whatever fabric. So yeah, definitely really, really cool. Mixed medium medium stuff. Really good for those types of builds that I mentioned earlier. I really like the shower that it came with. It did come with a shower. And I think it came with a new sink and a toilet as well. I liked it. I wouldn't necessarily say it's my favorite, but I do like them. But other than that, that's all that I can really think of that really stands out. They have like this really cool kind of like light. It's like a wall light that looks like a rock. I don't use it super often, but when I do, I really like it. And the doors, again, not the most user friendly for a house, but if you had a more unconventional house or a more kind of like lofty, kind of like conversion type industrial house, I really think the aesthetic is really good. There's a lot of geometric shapes going on within this pack, so if you're into that, which I am here for that. I definitely recommend the fitness pack. Next pack on the list is the bowling night stuff pack. And you know what, you guys? I feel like this pack is really slept on. I love this pack. I feel like a lot of people sleep on this pack because obviously the focus is on bowling, and the bowling lanes are huge and they're kind of hard to work with and to utilize regularly. But I feel like bowling night is definitely where it's at. The overall aesthetic is mid-century modern, and we have a lot of gems in this pack. I really love the furniture. First and foremost, I like the kind of funky colors that come with it. The colors are definitely more on the vibrant side. We have kind of like vibrant blues and aquas and oranges, yellows, greens, purples, but we also have a lot of wood tones, a great deal of chevron type patterns within this pack, which I personally love. I actually like the bar that came with this pack. It's kind of like a soda shop. I just feel like it's nice. It's definitely a mid-century modern aesthetic, like I said before. Some ideas that I can think of that this pack will really work well with is obviously a bowling alley, an arcade, just anything pretty much for your family, and like just friend outings, even like date outings. I think this would be really good to utilize just the core items from this pack. Obviously the big ticket item is that bowling lane, but as far as the other things, I really love this side table. It kind of looks like a triangle guitar pick thing. I find myself using that little accent pack so many times in a pinch. I find myself using the benches in like public areas. I just choose a more neutral swatch in like my waiting rooms and things like that. I feel like those could be really good if you want to be ambitious and build like an airport, because airports have like tons of seating, or if you're building like a clothing store, you want to have like a couple of places for your Sims to maybe like sit down outside of a waiting room. I definitely recommend using those little benches from the bowling night pack for that. I love all of the lights. They have like these hanging pendant lights that kind of look like a bell almost. It kind of looks like a bell, but it doesn't flare out. It looks like an upside down wine glass. That's what it looks like. Love those lights. I like the sconce lights that came with it. I don't know, it's just a very particular taste. If you're trying to do like a period build, like a 50s, 60s, even 70s build, I feel like a lot of these items will definitely come in handy with that. They have some great wall textures, specifically this wooden panel that's kind of more of like a chevron pattern as well. If you're not sure what chevron is, it's basically like triangles coming together, or like V's and like upside down V's. It kind of looks like this, but I love chevron, so I'm definitely biased on that. What else comes with this pack? Just a lot of like nice little gems. We have like that shoe rack that comes with this pack. Obviously you put it at a bowling alley or arcade, or if you want to make like a skating rink if you have seasons. I love the artwork that comes with this pack. I just feel like the artwork is very, very limited. It's only like bowling pins and different swatches and variants of that, so I wish we had more variety there. But definitely I feel like this is really good for your mid-century modern homes and for those commercial lots that require a bit more high energy that you can really enjoy with groups of Sims or even on a date. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I'm missing from this pack? I just definitely love all of the furniture. I know I really like the living chairs that came with this pack. The tables and dining chairs that came with this pack pretty much keeps the same mid-century modern aesthetic. Like the chairs particularly, they're a bit more rounded. The cushions have like these little funky patterns on here. The rugs in this pack are not my favorite. So like there's like this rug that is just, I don't know, it's really wacky colors. Definitely not my favorite. They have some interesting partitions, but you know, they definitely resemble bowling pins, so that could kind of limit how often you use them. And there's like this little wall decoration piece that's kind of like neon, but it's flattened like variations of like chevron. I really like it. I just feel like it adds a little bit more color into the room, and I feel like overall this is a really good pack. It is slept on in my opinion. The cast items are great also, but we're not going to talk about that. And I just feel like there's a lot of cute little gems, a lot of different little trophy things and stuff like that. I feel like bowling pack is really good for storytelling, and I just feel like it just gives your Sims something else to do, and I'm always here from that. Moving right along. So the next pack I want to talk about is the vintage Glamour stuff pack, and I love this pack. This pack is definitely for your bougie Sims, your Sims who like nice expensive things, your Sims that have a more feminine aesthetic. Contrasting to what I was saying about the fitness pack, which is a really masculine aesthetic, the vintage Glamour pack is definitely more of a feminine aesthetic darling. Like, oh my gosh, love this pack so much. I really enjoy a lot from this pack. Okay, I like starting with just build mode. They have so many nice wallpapers with kind of like a shimmer and shine to it. It looks so good when you pan in the camera and like how the light catches like the golden foil in a lot of the wallpapers. Really nice. I love the beds that come with this. They're just really high end and really plush. All of the swatches aren't my favorite, but they have enough swatches that I like where I feel like I do still get a bit of variety. This pack also came with the vanity. It came with 2 vanities. I want more vanities. I mean, 2 is definitely understandable. This is a stuff pack. I understand why they just couldn't give us a bunch of stuff packs. I mean, a bunch of vanities in a stuff pack, but I want more. But the 2 that we got are really nice. The styling is definitely more of like a posh high-end one, which is the one with like the 3 mirrors, and one that's a bit more I would say a bit more classic, with the singular mirror in the center. But I love both of the vanities. I really like the chairs that came with this pack, whether it is the dining chairs, which are also ones that you can snap to the vanity, whether it be like the really cutesy living chairs, the love seats and things like that, the couches. I just really like it. My favorite, I will probably say, are the couches. There's this one couch with like this really cute tufting on it. It's like a rectangle. I use that couch really often. If you wanted to build like a luxurious walk-in closet, this is definitely the pack for you. If you wanted to have like a bachelorette suite to the gods, honey, this pack is for you. I really like the chandelier that came with this pack. I love that chandelier and I use it all of the time. I feel like this pack really goes well for weddings and more of like those more elegant celebrations as well, whether it be like a sweet 16 or a quinceañera or just something more along those lines. vintage glamour stuff is the pack for you. I love all of the little lamps that came with this pack as well. Like the lamps, they're so elegant, they're so feminine, they're so classy. The colors, we have a lot of like golden colors, we have a lot of whites and creams, we have some blacks in there, we have some beautiful pinks and blues and greens and purples, you guys. So good. Love this pack. I really like the curtains that came with this pack as well. Like you can tell I love this pack. Like I'm literally smiling ear from ear. Aesthetically, this is definitely top 3 for me. And I would say that I really love the clutter pieces that came with this pack. We have a lot of like perfume bottles and like different trays, and we have candles and things that came with this pack. It's just a really cutesy feminine vibe, and I feel like that range of cutesy and like feminine can range from like a child sim that's like really into that type of thing to like a mature female sim, or a mature sim with a more feminine aesthetic. I really love that. Really love it. I love the other wallpapers that kind of have like this paneling and this texture on it. I like the wardrobes that came with this. They're very fancy, very elegant. I would say this one can also kind of come off as antique-y. As far as period builds, this will be really good for like builds done in like the 20s and the 30s, like early 20th century builds. I feel like this really captured the glamour of that time, and I feel like this pack also has a little bit of a Art Deco vibe. Let me know if you guys agree in the comments, but I just am really here for the pack. I love all of the little details. I just love the different tones in here. We have some metallic tones with the silver, gold, and kind of like a softer gold. We have jewel tones because there's plenty of purples, blues, and greens. We do have some neutrals in here with the whites and the blacks. Like I feel like this covers a broad range of items. Not to mention that it does come with a butler that is more so like gameplay, but it comes with a butler. I mean a lot of people don't like to play rich and famous sims. I do from time to time, and it's not often where I've had a butler, but I definitely would incorporate that if you like doing mansions, like high-end mansions, high-end penthouses. I definitely recommend the Vintage Glamour pack, and I feel like this will be really good for just capturing the roaring 20s. All right, so the next item on the list is the Backyard Stuff pack. To be honest, I get this confused very often with the Perfect Patio pack. I mean, let me know if you guys think so. I feel like these packs are, I'm not going to necessarily say one and the same, but they're very closely related to each other. But I would say out of the two, this one is the more like laid back and relaxed of the two. I would say the big ticket items with this are like the slip and slide. So I know there's one that's more like plain and one that kind of looks like a shark, which is cool. I don't use it too often, but I would say this would be really cool if you wanted to make like a cool like water park. I've created a water park a long time ago and I use those slip and slide, so it can be really cool. I would say what would be probably easier to accomplish and more practical is if you wanted to have like a little splash pad, maybe like at the local pool. I think these would be really cool. Or if you just want to have like a cool backyard party in the summertime, this will be really good. I feel like the item aesthetic in here is, I don't know, I feel like it was supposed to be more family oriented. There are quite a bit of like brighter colors in here. I know that there's a lot of red, a lot of orange, and yellow throughout this pack. Also blue. The plants in here are cute. I don't find myself gravitating towards this pack often, I'll be honest about that, but I mean, I think it's good if you like more of a kind of like a relaxed summer backyard vibe, maybe even spring vibe. I really like the bird feeder. I don't use it too often, but it is a cute item to see birds actually use. I do like the fact that you have this little lemonade dispenser. The lemonade is expensive. It is expensive, but I mean, it's cool to be able to pour lemonade out of the pitcher instead of having to just generate a cup out of the refrigerator. They have a couple of umbrellas and other outdoor furniture in here. The aesthetic of the furniture is more so like florals. So yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily my jam, but it's not bad. I just feel like I don't gravitate to this pack too often. I would say probably the number one item that I use from this pack is like this little table candle. I really love that table candle. I like putting it in my backyards, and I love the way they look at night. I like how you actually see the I don't want to say fumes, but I guess the smoke from the candle wick kind of flicker in the evening, which is really nice. I believe this pack came with a couple of like little fountain pieces and like some greenery and things like that. Honestly, you guys, I just don't really vibe with this pack because it is a little bit over the top with the florals, but I feel like this will be really good in spaces for your younger Sims or Sims that are into a more bright and colorful aesthetic. I know they do have a couple of wall pieces with like little flowers and things, which I think will look really good in a kid's room. Same thing with the rugs that come with here. I feel like it will look really good in a kid's room. Also, I feel like this will be really good if you had a Sim that was really into like floral arrangement, or like if you're building like a flower shop or something like that. I feel like this would be good for those type of builds, but it's not necessarily my jam. Doesn't make it a bad pack, just not really my aesthetic. Next pack on the list is the kids room stuff pack, and you know what, I don't play with kids too often, but I do like a lot of the items that came with this pack. What I don't like are the colorways, but like I said, that's a personal thing. That's definitely user error. I wish there were more neutrals throughout this pack, because I know that kids like bright and colorful things. I mean, it's very eye-catching, but I feel like sometimes it's a bit much, and I just would appreciate more neutrals. This pack just pretty much came with more things for the kids, so more beds. They came with this cute kind of like ottoman bit. They have a couple of clocks and things, rugs, different clutter pieces. It did come with some gameplay items like the Void Critters station and that whole system with the cars and things, and I know it came with the puppeteer station, which is super duper adorable. I feel like these items obviously would go really well in kids spaces, kids rooms. Also, if you wanted to make like a kids furniture store or like a kids toy shop, I feel like these items will go really well in there. Also, like an after school program or like a daycare, this would be really cool if you wanted to build a school. Some of these items could work, like the living chairs could work in maybe like a media center or like the library and things like that. A lot of the items are kind of like personalized, so I know like the wardrobe and the mirror, some of the swatches have like little pictures of like random Sims. I like that, but I just wish that you could put like your actual friends on there. I know that's a lot to ask for, but I don't know. It's just like some of the kids, it's like I've never seen a kid like that walking around in games, so it's kind of hard for me to like pick the more personalized swatch. But I think that the items that it came with were really on theme. They really incorporated the whole Void Critters game, which is kind of like Pokemon, if you ask me. They really incorporate that really well. The colors are very vibrant, very bright, very kid friendly. Lots of pinks, blues, purples, greens, like that sort of a jam in there. I think it came with a new computer desk and a computer chair, which is really nice. Like I said, you know, for a media center, those would be great, or like in a kid's bedroom, that would be great, just to give them a designated space to do their homework or to browse the web and just really hang out. I feel like that was the really main thing in this pack, just kids being able to hang out. I feel like although we had kids from the beginning, we didn't really have much to do with them, and I still feel like there's a lot more that we should be able to do with them, but unfortunately we're just not. But I feel like this pack was a step in the right direction. We just need more, darling. We just need more. This pack also has a lot of different little teen idol posters in there, which is really cute. I also believe this pack came with a new radio station and a new TV station, which is always cool. I know there's more so gameplay, but just something I would like to mention. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all that I can really think about with this pack, and those are the types of spaces that I think this pack would best serve. So yeah, moving right along. All right, you guys, so the next pack on the list is the romantic garden stuff. You guys, you know what, I like this pack. I love this pack. It's definitely more on the whimsical side, very, very romantic, very, very secret garden-esque, honey. I'm here for it. I'm definitely here for it. The big ticket items that I believe were the big fountain that you can like play in, splash around, and actually take a nap on. You can snuggle up with your special sim on that piece. And I'm trying to think what else. Oh yeah, it came with like that wishing well, and you can like throw a coin in there, you can get a wish. It might turn out good, it might turn out bad, but what I really love about the pack are all of the florals. There's so many different florals in here. Some of them are like right on point. Some of them are a bit over the top and can look kind of fake. It's really on that thin line, but all in all, it gives us so much variety. And I feel like the big focus of this pack was just getting your Sims outside and enjoying the garden. I feel like this would be really good if you're trying to build a park. I recently used a lot of these items in a wedding build that I did on my channel. I'll put a card on the screen if you guys are interested. But I just really love all of the different pieces. Not to sound too morbid, but I also think that this would go really well in a cemetery or a graveyard. Why, you might ask? Well, a lot of these swatches kind of have a dirtier, grittier, kind of like overgrown, mossy type texture to it, and I feel like it will go well in those areas where, you know, they might not be tended to as often. I also created a botanical garden build, which I will put on the screen right now if you guys are interested. And I really enjoyed this pack. I enjoyed using the items from this pack. I feel like you can kind of go anywhere you want from this pack. If you wanted to do super realistic, kind of like downtown, like Central Park vibes, you can use a lot of these items. Or if you wanted to go somewhere a little bit more whimsical, kind of like fairy aesthetic or like magical secret garden aesthetic, like I feel like you can kind of pull it either way, just depending on what else you accessorize with it. Actually really like the some of the other pieces that came with here. I know it came with a kind of like a different monkey bars thing with like vines on it. It came with some outdoor furniture, so they had like some benches and some tables that kind of had kind of like that stone aesthetic, and then kind of like the overgrown mossy aesthetic with it. I'm trying to think what else did it come with. Honestly, I can't quite recall what all it came with, but I know like a lot of the items were just geared for outside. We do have a fencing that was really cute that came with this pack. Still kind of like that whole stone outdoorsy aesthetic, but yeah, I just feel like this is a very whimsical and romantic pack. I feel like if you really want to zhuzh up your backyard and just make it like overgrown with beautiful blooms and like really put your Sims in kind of like a romantic setting, this is the pack that you might want to look into. I would say that this is definitely more of a Baroque style. I actually think that's the name of the radio station that came with this, so I mean, that's cool that we get a new radio station. It's just very romantic, very whimsical, definitely more of a feminine aesthetic. And I think they have like this kind of like this street light, which is really, really cute. They kind of have like these round bulbs with like flowers hanging off of it. Really, really cute stuff. Definitely recommend. Next pack on the list is the movie Hangout stuff pack. And I would say the biggest con with this pack is the fact that we don't have a actual movie theater lot type. You know, it's kind of confusing when you hear movie Hangout, because you think maybe you and your Sims can, like, you know, call up an Uber and go see the movies and, you know, do this, that, and the third. But no. But if you have enough imagination, you can create your own movie theater, your own cinema, and set it up that way. So that's not a huge drawback. I really, really love this pack. I love the aesthetic of this pack. It's definitely boho. It's definitely hipster. The colors are kind of trippy, but I really, really like it. There are a lot of jewel tones in this pack, a lot of blues, purples, greens. I love the overall style of this pack. It's very, very eclectic. There are a lot of kind of like diamond shaped things, especially with the lights. There are some diamond pendant lights in here. It comes with like some movie posters. So if you had a mansion and wanted to build like a home theater, definitely the pack for you. Let me see. As far as the furniture, it's still more kind of like that bohemian theme with like the different colors, the paisley prints, the rugs, the rugs and the curtains are definitely more on that whole bohemian vibe. I feel like this pack really goes well if you wanted to do, like I said, like a movie room, or like zhuzh up your living room inside. But also if you wanted to bring it outside, this will go really, really well. This pack also came with the popcorn maker, which is cool, but it can be kind of annoying because sometimes you might want your Sim to auto solve their hunger, and instead of getting food out of the refrigerator, they will go to the popcorn machine, and it's so annoying. But if you have like a designated movie night, it's really, really cool just seeing your Sims enjoying themselves eating popcorn. There's this one coffee table that I absolutely love from this pack. It's basically like a wooden bottom and it has a glass top, and it's just so cute. It's really, really cute. I would say this also kind of gives me kind of like antique-y vibes, but not like super antique-y to where like if you touch it it might break. It feels like these items were definitely reupholstered and made new and made cool, and I really, really like that. There's two type of projector screens that came with this pack. So there's like a wall mount one, and then there's like a floor one, and each of them kind of have like the little speakers that come with it, which is really, really cool. And yeah, I'm trying to think, what else did I really like from this pack? It has like this cool kind of like painted accent table. I don't know, that's all that I can really think about right now. They have like this really cutesy mirror that kind of looks like a flower. I feel like this will go really, really well in for Sims that like more eclectic things, more things that look handcrafted, one of a kind, your hipster Sims, your young adult Sims that might go thrifting. I feel like this will go really, really well with that storyline. Just Sims that are a bit more relaxed in their style. I love this tree that comes with the pack. It has like these hanging lanterns in there. Love, love, love it. I feel like it's very, very beautiful for like a backyard. If you wanted like Sims to be off the grid, and like maybe like they have like, it's like a community of Sims, and like they have this central tree where they hang out around. Like that's the vibes that I get from this pack. Definitely bohemian, very chilled and relaxed. I feel like it's less about the movie aspect and more about the hangout aspect, if you know what I mean. And I know there's like this super cute kind of like succulent planter that goes on the wall. Really, really good stuff. There's a lot of good clutter pieces in here. I feel like this is just a good pack, and I use this pack a lot more often than I thought I would. So the next pack on the list is the Spooky Day pack. I feel like out of all of the packs, this one is the most niched, and I feel like you can only use this pack one day out of the sim year, which is Spooky Day, aka Halloween. I feel like a lot of these items are not usable for most everyday builds. A lot of the build and buy mode items, specifically the build mode items, are very, very worn down. Very, very kind of like scratched up looking, kind of dingy looking, girl. Now, if you're into Halloween, if you're into a more rundown aesthetic, you can maybe use it more than just that one day. For example, if you're building like an abandoned house, Spooky Day is going to be your girl, okay? I mean, because they have matching walls and floors that look like completely worn down, but I just feel like it's not as versatile as the other packs, because the other packs are based on aesthetic, but since this is all like Halloween themed, from the pumpkin carving table to a lot of like the jack-o'-lantern type pieces to the trick-or-treat bowl, I feel like a lot of it is just really, really specific to Spooky Day. So do with that as you will. It does come with some great things if you want to throw like a phenomenal kind of like Halloween party. I wish those items were a bit more dark and creepy. They're a bit more cutesy, so I feel like the Halloween party will be phenomenal for kids, but I feel like it wouldn't necessarily bring in the fear factor for your older Sims. I just wish that the items were more dark and more realistic looking, but maybe that's what they were going for. I feel like if you wanted to create a Halloween store and run that as a retail lot, if you have a Get to Work pack, definitely a good idea. They have kind of like these fake looking tombstones and like ghosts and things, and like this little goblet arm that's like holding a candle. Like I said, it's kind of like cheesy Halloween, but I feel like, you know, for kids Sims definitely, or like for family Sims celebrating Halloween, or if you just want to have like a Halloween bash, definitely. But it's just really, really niched. Just a lot of the other items are kind of like run down themselves. Like the curtains are run down. I wouldn't have it in my house every day, but if I'm doing a Halloween party, go for it, sis. I feel like there's a little bit more versatility with the cast items, but again, those are geared towards Spooky Day specifically, so it's kind of hard using them outside of that context. I feel like the colors in this pack are really, really off. Like they're so off that the items look fake. And I know that this is a simulation game, so in essence all of these items are fake, but I feel like the color, like they're just so off in relation to how the color is done with the rest of the items. That's pretty much all I have to say. I mean, there are some other like wall decorative pieces, again specific for Spooky Day. There's a decent amount of clutter pieces like spider webs and like tabletop decorations, again geared specifically to Spooky Day. There are some creepy looking paintings in here. I wouldn't want them in my house every day. That would creep me out, but I'm not into that type of thing. If you are, definitely check it out. You might want to get it on sale. That's no shade. It's just it's kind of hard to use it for other types of builds, you know. But anyway, moving right along. Next item on the list is the Cool Kitchen Stuff pack. So I actually use this pack quite often. I like the kitchen items that we got with this pack. We got pretty much a new kitchen set. I know we got a new sink, new counters. Did we get new cabinets? I can't quite recall if we got new cabinets. I'm sure we did. I actually think we did get like the glass front cabinets. We got a new refrigerator, a new stove, and a new sink. So yeah, I mean, we definitely got one complete new set of kitchen items. I wish we had a second just so we can get more of that variety. I do understand that this is a stuff pack and it was one of the first stuff packs, but you know, I want more. I'm always gonna want more. The big ticket item with this pack was the ice cream maker, which was cool. I just wish that we got more stuff with this. Like, I feel like they put the ice cream maker out and just left it by itself. I feel like it would have been cool as far as cool kitchen, maybe if we got like a blender, if we got a toaster, if we just got like more of those smaller appliances. Maybe a smoothie maker. I don't know, just maybe more stuff like that. I feel like, I mean, I see what they were trying to do with the cool kitchen, and then they give us the item to make colder treats like with ice cream, which is cute. I just wish that we got more than one appliance. Now with the ice cream maker, and this is going more so on gameplay, we are able to make so many different combinations of ice cream, from the plain like chocolate strawberry to vanilla, to things that are a little bit more interesting like mint chocolate and banana, and two more advanced things like a sundae and a banana split. So we definitely have a lot of variety, but I want more. I wish we could have at least maybe got like a blender or a toaster to add to that. I mean, maybe not a toaster because that heats food up, but you know, maybe a blender or a smoothie maker. I think that would have been really cool. No pun intended, all puns intended though. What else came with this pack? That's all that I can really think of as far as build and buy mode. I know we did get a couple of wall pieces, which are really cool. I find myself using like the little display with all of the knives and spatulas from this pack really often. We got a cute cutting board. It would have been nice if we were able to actually use that cutting board, or like be able to like choose our cutting board preference, since that was like a decorative piece. I do like the poster that came with here. For the longest, I did not cycle through the swatches of that poster, and as I was cycling through the swatches, I found a lot of things that I really like, mainly because some of those things aren't food related. I think the default swatch to the poster I'm referring to is like a chicken, and if you filter through it, I mean, you have like avocados, you have different like fruits. I think there's like an artichoke on there, and then there's like some more like artsy type swatches in there. So I mean, it's really nice. I just want more. That's just me. We also got like these really cute like flowers. I don't know if they were supposed to be real flowers or if they're supposed to be like edible arrangements. We could have got edible arrangements. Now that would have been cool. That would have been cool if we were able to make our own edible arrangements. That would have been dope. That would have been dope. Also, we got kind of like these, I know we got new chairs. So I know we got some high top chairs and some regular dining chairs that are a bit more kind of like on the plasticky side. I could definitely see those maybe like from like IKEA, in like the section that's not necessarily all the way in the front, but not too deep in the back where the more expensive things are. I mean, but yeah, Cool Kitchen was cute. It was really nice. I love the kitchen set that we got. I find myself using that kitchen set very often. I just wish that we got another set, or if we got more of those smaller appliances. What I would see you guys using this for, if you wanted to make like a nice chef's kitchen, if you were running a restaurant, or maybe like a retail store that made sweet treats like ice cream, or even like in a bakery. Like, I feel like anything that involves like cooking and looking good while you cook, definitely I would recommend this pack for that. And if you want ice cream in the game, really cute for a family outing or a date night or a group outing, I recommend this pack. I mean, I use it a lot. Although I'm saying I want more, I can't deny I use it a lot. Next pack on the list is the Perfect Patio Stuff pack. And like I said earlier, I confused this with the backyard stuff pack. But I feel like this one, whereas the backyard pack was more relaxed, this one is a little bit more upscale, a little bit more fancy smancy backyard darling. I feel like that the first pack was like for backyard, and this pack is more specifically for like your deck, and like actually utilizing that space all year round opposed to just the summer. I feel like that's how I kind of differentiate the two. This pack introduced a hot tub, which the Sims kind of like reneged on that for the 20th anniversary when they gave us a hot tub, which was the big ticket item for this particular pack, but they gave out one for free. But we won't go there. We won't talk about that. But the hot tub was the big ticket item. I like the hot tub. I use the hot tub when I'm creating like vacation homes, when I'm creating mansions for your Sims who like the finer things in life. Pinky up. I like creating this when I'm making like my hotels. I use the hot tub pretty often. If I'm just trying to create like a relaxing vibe or like a romantic vibe, I love the hot tubs. When I'm creating like spas, I usually have a hot tub. In my penthouses, I usually have a hot tub. Like, need I go on? I love the hot tubs. I feel like I really, really like it, and I wish we had more. This pack comes with two different types. One that's more rounded, kind of like the, I guess, the traditional American jacuzzi style, and then there's one that's kind of like cladded in kind of like a stone. I really like the stone aesthetic of that second hot tub that I was just telling you guys about, and also the counters and islands that come with this pack. I wish we had a matching cupboard, but I kind of understand why we don't, because if you're creating this stuff outside, more than likely you won't have anything attached kind of high. You will just kind of have like a fixed outdoor kitchen setup. So I understand that, but I really like the stone texture on those pieces. What else came with this pack? I know there are a couple of glass dining tables with like the little umbrella. I feel like they were just trying to go for a more classy aesthetic for your backyard. There's a lot of glass in this piece. I feel like if you wanted to really deck out an area around the pool, I would say if you had to choose between the backyard pack and the perfect patio pack, I personally use the perfect patio pack more often. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, like I said, hot tubs, I like the furniture better. The furniture from this pack is definitely more outdoor based, with a bit of wicker, and you could tell that the cushions on it are made for the outside. They don't look super plushy like throw pillows inside of a house, and there's a good bit of variety in those swatches. So that's why I say I just kind of gravitate towards this pack. There's like this weird circular sculpture piece that I don't use too often. I think I might have used it once, maybe like 4 years ago when I created like a farm, to kind of make it look like something else. Actually, I think I used it again when I created my riverboat a couple of years ago, but it's not super practical. I mean, I guess it's just there for aesthetic. And also this pack came with a bar that is in that same texture as the counters and the islands that I was telling you guys about. So yeah, I mean, all in all, I definitely enjoy this pack. I do feel like you can use some of those furniture pieces inside. It's just not as practical aesthetic wise, but hey, you do whatever. Like if you had kind of like an indoor pool area, I would say that's where you might want to put these in. And I like the some of the wall art that came with here. Not necessarily pictures, but like the wall decorations. They have kind of like this cute little metal bit that goes on a wall, which I think is really cute. They have this really nice it's like a planter that kind of looks like oh gosh, I don't even know what those leaves are called. Are they palm leaves? Yeah, I think they are palm leaves. And they have some cute lanterns that came with this pack. So I definitely recommend, like, if you're confused on what's the difference between backyard stuff pack and perfect patio pack, I feel like backyard is more relaxed, perfect patio is more upscale, and I personally find myself gravitating more towards the perfect patio pack more often. I would say this will go really well for like public pools, for spas, anything kind of like more upscale. If you're creating like a yacht and needed furniture for that, definitely this pack. If you had a mansion and wanted a pool, penthouse wanted a pool, just pretty much anything like pool and like outdoor living, like chilling on your deck related, I definitely recommend this pack for those types of things. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all I can think of. So moving right along. And last but certainly not least is the luxury party pack. And I guess I should pretty much say first but certainly not least, because this was the first stuff pack that The Sims 4 came out with. I like this pack. I feel like a lot of people don't really like this pack, much like pretty much all of the first levels of packs. People don't generate to them because they aren't as developed in comparison to the later packs. But I really like the luxury party pack because how I like to build, I do a lot of commercial spaces specifically for celebrations. So this is definitely my jam. Now, would I say that this is the most luxurious type of pack? No, I wouldn't necessarily say that this is the most luxurious, but as far as celebrations go, I feel like the items in here can definitely elevate it a bit. I like the bars that came in here that are the different colors. I don't use them too often, but if you wanted to kind of create maybe like a nightclub atmosphere where you wanted the bar to be a different color just to add some more color in the room. Very descriptive, right? But if you wanted to just add a different ambiance into the room, that's definitely something to consider. There's also like these podiums that kind of have like those different colors. The colors, like it literally looks like a light is shining through the object. There's whites, there's blacks, there's purples, greens, golds, blues, pinks, reds. Like there's so many different options, and I believe there's like a floor that kind of has that same effect. It's not the most practical, but if you're doing something very specific, maybe like a rave or like a go-go dancing club or like a bar or like a big sweet 16, I feel like you could really work these items in. This pack also has like those juice racks that you would put behind the bar, which are illuminated, and they are nice. Like I would put those in a nightclub. They have like these curtains that have like this little light onto it. I don't use it too often, but I would probably use it for more of an upscale event, like a big party or something of the sort. What else came with this pack? Some items are just kind of like odd. Like this light is definitely more of like an abstract arms kind of like weaving each other, kind of like floor lamp. I don't know. I don't use it too often, but hey, if you're into more abstract art, is there. I actually really like the stools that came with this pack, the bar stools. They're kind of cute. They're tufted. They kind of have like a metal bottom, which is really cute. I'm trying to think, is there anything that really stands out about this pack? Oh yeah, there's the buffet tables. I do like the buffet tables. There's two buffet tables that came with this. Both of them look pretty much the same though. So one is like, well, both of them are circular, but one is like on its own, and then the other one is covered with like this drapery similar to the linens on the tables from Dine Out. I find myself using the latter more often because I find myself using it at celebrations where I'm expecting more Sims, like a wedding or like a more formal party. I feel like those are really good in a pinch, because if you have 250 extra simoleons, you just click fill up the table and there's your food. You don't have to hire a caterer. You don't have to worry about cooking it yourself. And I actually really like the fountain that came with this pack. Now, not a fountain for water, but a fountain for food. So what you have access to depends on your cooking skill, but you can fill it up with chocolate for chocolate covered strawberries. You could fill it up with cheese for fondue, with fruit punch, apple juice, and there's a different option that's like escaping my mind right now, but there's just so many different combinations that you can use that for. So yeah, I mean, what I would use this for, like I said, just like bigger celebrations for like weddings, sweet 16, quinceañeras, retirement parties, if you want to do kind of like a rave atmosphere, that could work with some of those illuminated items. If you wanted to do kind of like a nightclub, again with some of those illuminated items, you could definitely make it work. And the buffet table is definitely clutch if you need a bunch of food in a pinch. I guarantee that your Sims will not eat all of that food at the party, and then you will have plenty for leftovers. Trying to think, is there anything else that I'm forgetting to mention? I mean, I'm sure there is, but that's all the things that I can really think of with that pack. So, well, you guys, 18 packs, 18 stuff packs. Like I said, like, I'm not gonna rank it. I'm not gonna tell you guys what to get. I'm not gonna say, you know, you should get this or you should get that, or this one is trash or this one is great. I'm just giving ideas of what you could possibly use it for, what I use it for, and just the overall aesthetic. So I know this was a long video, but I truly hope you guys enjoyed and was able to take something away from my opinions. If you made it this far in a video, thank you. I am a talker, and I thank you for listening to me. I hope you guys enjoy. Feel free to hit that like button if you liked the video. Leave me a comment down below. Just anything about the stuff packs, what you like, what you don't like, what you expect versus what you got, or, you know, if you want the community to maybe weigh in on a pack you're thinking about and get some of our opinions if we've had experience with that pack, definitely leave a comment down below. Also, feel free to subscribe and be sure to click that bell, that way you never miss an upload from me. And if you want to see builds that I've created, follow me on the gallery. My origin ID is simply Nisey. Again, you guys, I'm hopping off here, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye guys.